get touched too much. So this one's going to be tuned down a quarter step, and I'll have a link for that tuner down there in the description. So we're going to start this one off with this E power chord down here on the 7th and 9th positions on the A and the D string. And Malcolm's going to play this E power chord. We're going to hit it once, then we're going to slightly palm mute the open E string. Now Angus is playing an open E string throughout, and his pattern's a little bit different, and of course when we blend the two, we get what's on the record. So then Malcolm's going to come and play this C note here, which is your middle finger on the 8th fret of the E string, and then I've got my first finger on the 7th fret of the A string, and we're just going to play this once, hit it once, and then palm mute. Then we're going to play this A chord, which is an open A string. And then I've got my first finger on the 7th fret of the D, and I've got my pinky on the 9th fret of the G. So you hit it once, and then you palm mute that open A string. Okay, then we're going to play this down here, this riff, and it's really just a D shape. So if you can just picture your D chord, your full D, make sure you've got that little E fretted on the 2nd fret, and you slid everything up to the 9th and 10th positions. And we're going to start this pattern with our pinky on the 10th fret of the little E string. So we just got that D shape. We start with that pinky down there on that 10th fret, and we're just going to play. Okay, so we're going to play through that whole thing twice. So our E chord. Alright, then we're going to come down up here and play some of these power chords, and we're going to accent these chords. And what I mean by that is we're going to play the chord in a certain pattern, and then we're going to palm mute the note of that chord. So this will be C to A, back to C again. So to D, alright, and then we hit it pretty aggressively the last 2 times, and that actually could be played here. Okay, but that's the pattern for that. It's a little tricky to get it first. And then we're going to play the chorus. So the chorus is going to be full E to G to A to C, and then we're going to grab the 2nd fret on the A string, which is that B note, to an open A to a D chord. So Alright, now we're going to play it that way twice during the chorus, and then on the 3rd time, we're not going to grab that B note there on that 2nd fret of the A. We're just going to go from C to D. Alright, and then to end the chorus, we're going to go E to G. And then we're going to play this. We're going to play A, D to A twice. And then the last time we just go D to A once. So and then back down here to this E chord. Alright, so now we're into the 2nd verse. So the 2nd verse is going to be played a little bit different. So we're going to start with this first E chord to the C to this A chord. So and the strumming's a lot more free now. And then we're going to play D twice to A, and then repeat. Okay, now now we're going to go back to C. Okay, and then we're going to hit it, end it on this D chord here, this open D. Then we start the second chorus again, which is the same thing, our E to our G to our A to our C, grab the B to the D note. And once again, the third time that's played is just C to D. All right, and then when we end the second chorus, we'll end it like this. And then just come down here to the E chord. We're not going to do that A-D thing. And now we start the guitar solo on the C chord. So let's take a look at that and the rest of this one. So as we head into the guitar solo, we're going to be coming out of the chorus on this E power chord. And we're going to hit this E power chord and then build it back or build it up before the guitar solo starts. So all right, then we're going to play C to A, back to C again to this open D chord in this pattern. Alright, and we're playing that D, we're hitting that D chord pretty hard and just all downstrokes. Then we're going to play this riff. So we're going to have an E chord to 3rd fret on the E string to an A chord. Then we hit that A chord again, back to that 3rd fret on the E string, back to this A chord, and then 2nd fret on the A string, 3rd fret on the A string, back to this A chord again, to E. So all together it's... Alright, now Angus may be adding some vibrato on some of those notes. I'm not sure Malcolm is. But then Angus is going to come in and play it unaccompanied. And then Malcolm will simply come in with a E to a G, and then he'll mute the strings on the G, and then A to D, and then mute the strings on that D chord. So. Alright, and then he does that twice. Then we're going to start the final chorus. So the final chorus will be the same thing at the beginning until Angus starts the outro solo, and the strumming pattern will change a little bit. But we're always going to actually go to this B note to A to D. We're never just going from C to D as we did every third time and the first 2 times we played the chorus. So we'll just be playing this. Okay, we'll play it like that. Now, when the outro solo starts, Malcolm's strumming pattern changes slightly. It's a little bit more aggressive, and it's something like this. Alright, and we kind of play that until we get to the very end. So the very end of the song, we're going to be playing this A chord. And then we're going to play D to A twice, D to A twice, D to A, and then the A chord again. So it's something like this. Okay, and then we ended on that E chord. All right, so that's it for this one. We'll see you guys next time.